Hello everyone, this video is about Federico Faggin's groundbreaking theory of consciousness and his funding of the study of consciousness through the Federico and Elvia Faggin Foundation. Federico illuminates a thread between his creation of the microprocessor and his study of consciousness. In this interim, Federico founded two companies. The first, Zilog, was the first company completely dedicated to the microprocessor, and the second, Synaptics, created many of the touchscreens that we still use in technology today. All the while, Federico was interested in the concept of making a conscious computer, and to better understand the brain and how the brain's mechanisms could be implemented in the computer, he studied biology and neurology for 4 to 5 years. But the more he studied, the more he realized that the reality of making a conscious computer seemed to slip more and more in the distance. It seemed less possible. And he realized no one's really studying consciousness, so he decided that that was going to be his big effort moving forward. Federico's theory is that consciousness is the very fabric of our universe. He explains more about how the energy that created everything, consciousness, is aware, and the implications of having that awareness as fundamental to everything in our universe.
I started a foundation, you already mentioned Federico and Elvia Faggin Foundation, for the study of consciousness. This is not a philosophical study of consciousness, it's actually is an exercise in physics, trying to develop a new physics, starting with cognitive principles instead of materialistic principles. If we start with the idea that there is only one energy, the same energy that produced space, time, and matter in the Big Bang, right? You know, the most favorite theory of physics of the creation of this physical universe. Suppose that this energy, of which everything is made, is also conscious, is also aware. Okay? What happens? Okay? All of a sudden, awareness or consciousness is the foundational property, is the cognitive property. So if you start with that, you develop physics, but starting with this energy, so you don't have to put consciousness back later as an afterthought, but consciousness is there from the beginning.
Federico also elaborates on sort of like the longevity of consciousness's energy. So if each of our individual consciousnesses are used to inform the collective consciousness, that interaction and that exchange of information goes on indefinitely. So consciousness is this ever-growing and changing and learning thing.
You start with this energy, which is, of which everything is made, which is conscious. Then all that exists is this energy, right? Now this energy then, being conscious, has the ability to know. And what is there to know if not to know itself? That's all there is there, right? So you got to know. So you start with this postulate that the fundamental purpose of everything that exists is for consciousness to know itself. So it is sensible to say that this process of knowing itself, of consciousness, is lasting forever. There is never an end to it.
Yeah.
You know, because there is always something new to discover.
And he basically defines what the meaning of life is through his theory. But it's not quite that simple. He explains that it's based on experience, and humans need to experience, beings in general, need to experience and live their lives through consciousness to realize that meaning.
Because meaning resides in consciousness. It is consciousness that gives meaning to our life. So to know yourself, you have to experience yourself. That's the whole point. I mean, you don't, you know, you go to school to get knowledge. Knowledge is symbolic. If you cannot, if you don't understand, you repeat the words. You get even an A if you repeat the words. You didn't understand a damn thing of what you're saying. Okay, you still get an A, because people don't put the emphasis on the meaning; they put emphasis on knowledge. But I'm talking about meaning, I'm talking about what you actually see about yourself. And that you can only have through an experience.
If you'd like to learn more about Federico's theory of consciousness, I will have a link to his foundation, the Federico and Elvia Faggin Foundation, below, as well as a link to our full conversation where we go more in depth into his research. Thank you very much for watching.